seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. 'Cause I'm stuck now, just dying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. You gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? And you know I'm feeling good like that, so what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Promise me you'll get me through. Just tell me I can do this too. For everything we fight to never lose. 'Cause everything we want, oh, is everything we need. Just like I need you. Oh, it's just like you need me. I can run to you. Promise me a rendezvous. Just tell me I can stand the truth. For everything we hope to never lose. 'Cause everything we want, oh, is everything we need. Just like I need you. Oh, it's just like you need me. State, change your name, covered up scars from your parents' place. It's everything you need to move on. On my neck, wasted breath, trying to get with that someone next. I've never been the type to move on. Yeah, I never thought you were social, and now everybody knows your name. I know you'll take the world over, but I hope you don't forget this place. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. I know you're chasing your dream. But if you visit my street, don't you forget about me. From the top, you're never gonna drop. Running my mouth for the race I lost. It's hopeless, puddles to oceans. Compare our devotions. Yeah, I wouldn't wanna end your party. Don't pity first or second. First want to know who you think you are. 'Cause I never thought you were social, and now everybody knows your name. I know you'll take the world over, but I hope you don't forget this place. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. I know you're chasing your dream. But if you visit my street, don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. We gon' make you move. We gon' make you lose. We gon' make you move. So baby, let's up it.
Good Evening everyone, welcome to another edition of Mini RPG of the Week. I'm Nualaic, I am back from the dead, much like Orpheus, and just like Orpheus I have come back without a wife. Unlike Orpheus, I never had one to begin with, so you know, there's a bit of a give, there's a bit of a take all around, just a very sad situation, but I am delighted to be back. It's been a hot second, over a month, since I've last managed to get in front of a camera and cast a Mini RPG of the Week, and I'm very much looking forward to tonight's edition of it, because I have come back just in time to catch a Kiraj map, which always means that we're in for a good time. I've enjoyed a lot of the maps that Kiraj has done for this competition over the last while, and we're going to be heading into a pretty fun sounding one tonight. A little bit of pathfinding and some structural mini RPG is what we have been promised. All in the dark, lots of purple lights, very stylish, and I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what that does all bring for us. It's only me tonight. Nobody else is here to join me. I couldn't convince anyone to cast with me. Very easy to convince people to cast when I'm not here, but as soon as I'm back, the offer's just dried up. I'm trying not to take it personally, but you know, it's tough. It's a little bit tough not to take that personally. Maybe I actually just didn't ask anyone. That's equally possible, and well, you'll never know because I'll never tell. As I say, I'm excited to get into this one. It's a classic standard mini RPG of the week, 15 minutes of warm-up, as far as I know. I haven't heard differently. Black Pulse, you're in chat. You can confirm that either way, and from then we will head into a knockout. We're seeing some decent players join the server already, and so we'll see how things go. Decent Irish representation as well, which I always love to see, because it gives me someone to be unashamedly biased towards. We are having the players currently warm up on Deep Dip, which may be a little bit cruel, making them play one of the hardest RPG maps. It's up there. I mean, maybe not specifically one of the hardest RPG maps, but certainly the lack of checkpoints and the full, what do we call this type of game? Bernard Foddian style game, where you fall. It's tough, but I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe that's not a sign of what's to come. Kiraj map is not designed to be rage-inducing for our players tonight, and that they will be okay once we do join into that one. Lots of players starting to join the server as we rapidly approach the hour mark and as we get ready to head on over. I will say that you gotta remember that it's just me tonight, and I mean that production side as well. That's why there's me, that's why we don't have a stadium in the background. I couldn't figure out how to adjust the frames for a single caster instead of two casters, and that also means that there's a decent chance that our in-game audio is going to be scuffed to kick things off here. So let me know if it is. Whoops. Yeah, no, that's about how that goes. Hey, you missed the overview right at the top there, where things look gorgeous, but look at this flyby that we're getting of the map anyway. Isn't it lovely? As we will see how players discover it's a 20-minute warm-up. I lied to everyone's faces directly. We're going to be here for a full 20 minutes, and that makes sense. We've been promised a little bit of pathfinding in the middle of this map, and they're going to need it. No signposting at the beginning, just purple lights, dark track, and everything to find. It's pretty. It's a pretty map. We're going to figure out if the lore is related. I have heard that a lot of the lore while I was away centered largely around the fact that I was dead. I heard there was a eulogy written for me definitely by Twiggy and not ChatGPT, and we'll have to figure out how to work that in. Otherwise, the state of the lore is that there is an evil corporation whose name I've forgotten. It was somewhere in there. One of our mappers provided the name for it. They've been going around the galaxy kicking people off planets and generally making life miserable for the inhabitants of those planets. We are, by the way, watching Kiraj's GPS at the moment, and my lord, there definitely is a bit of discovery to be done here, and remembering this route is going to be tough for some players. Bit of a reactor boost section here. That's a sick backflip. Okay, I like it. Doesn't look like it's going to be too hard to set up, but it is stylish as hell. Across here, a little bit of precision driving in the middle. Kiraj, you can't put invisible road in your mini RPG of the week map. The players, think of the players. They're going to be so confused into another large reactor jump, and that's forward all the way to the finish line. I didn't see if there is a safe finish as well. Best of luck to the players. The evil corporation has resurrected me. Yeah, no, that tracks. That's fair. Maybe that is what's happened. I think it's pretty clear that whatever we're saying, this is the headquarters of whatever evil operation was going on. I mean, look at it. Look at it. We are deep inside their headquarters or some kind of... It's like a Death Star, but for planetary mining. It's for planetary strip mining. They park it in orbit over the top of a planet, and then they strip mine the entire thing. With no regard for whatever life may be down below. I love it. It all tracks. We're going to jump back in, as we were on board with After, who has decided to watch the shortcut again, and then given up. Let's see, no finishes yet. Nearly 2.5 minutes into this warm-up segment. And nobody has finished the map just yet. Let's keep an eye. Who's likely to be the first player to finish? Is Artis further up the road? Artis is further up the road with the RPG tag on, going for the backflip. And we'll see. I don't see anyone in front for the moment, so let's hang on and see if we can catch the first finish on the map. This is going to be an enjoyable week. No, that's not the road. Oh, it's close. It's okay. And onto the invisible road. It's found that one out. At least it's not a particularly hidden invisible road this time around. But it definitely is just providing a little bit of je ne sais quoi to the experience here. This map is incredibly sick. It's so cool looking. I'm a big fan of minimalist design in general. Oh, Babs! Babs for the first finish! Go, Babs! Yes, Ireland! Oh, it was slower than Artis, but go on anyway. It was technically the first finish. Absolutely massive. Nice French. Thank you. I'm not fluent at all. It's, you know, a lot of French players here. You know, we'll keep an eye on them. We have Dobry getting across the line as well. Look, he was doing a lot of warm-up back on deep dip as well. So, you know, he's in the zone, warmed up, ready to go. As we'll follow Artis for a little bit. Let's see who else is in the server at the moment. This definitely feels like an evening where if we do get a lot of players, the map itself, the route, not looking wildly difficult so far. Definitely finishable, should be finishable for pretty much anyone who joins in here. And that also probably means a lot of optimization in later rounds. Oop. Bingo is going to be going for it. Lingo in another name change, but at least this one is easy to spot. You can tell exactly who that is, the Evo tag, the Canadian flag, and the name just being his actual name with a single letter change at the start. I'm going to be very upset if I find out that this is, in fact, someone else who has been going by Bingo for these past couple of weeks. Decent amount of times coming through now. We're down to 140. Artis's first time, still holding the record up at the top there. For context, we do have the author time as slightly hunted, and the author time is about a 104. So anything that starts to approach the 104, or anything that starts to get below a 104, we're calling that a good time. Won't be for Bingo here in this round, as he does crash into a pole right on the way through, and that'll mean a little bit slower for Lingo for the time being. Geek has joined us. G-Geek has joined us for the evening. We'll be playing through on this server. Let's keep an eye on how that does. We always love to see fellow casters as they attempt to play through, and if Twiggy comes in, we will mercilessly roast him over the course of it. Mostly for being a terrible poet and having to rely on ChatGPT. Checkpoint 2 is pretty hard. Yeah, no, there's definitely still, it's going to be tough, but overall, I think a lot of these tricks, there's a lot of space to make these tricks work, right? The precision driving is coming largely on sections like this, where, you know, trying to hit this at speed without falling off, trying to make these jumps at speed, that's where the precision driving is coming in. But trying to do them a little bit slower for players who might be further down the track is hopefully not going to cause massive issues in terms of just getting a car to the finish line. It's definitely feeling like it's going to be a very pacey evening. And it doesn't look like any risky fin either. We'll see if there's any optimizations to be had at that finish at all, or if it is kind of PF once you get through that final booster. If anyone discovers any tricks with the reactor at some point as well. Let's jump on board. Let's see how some other people are doing on this one. Let's see how Ice is doing for the time being. Heading towards the finish here at the moment. Won't be in the top, but it will be third with a 110, and that means we're on board just in time to catch Ice running the entire map back. Marius joining us this evening as well, currently with a 15th best time. There is a couple of notes as well from the mapper here, from Kiraj, that I'm gonna not mention just yet, because they're definitely interesting. There's at least one trick that he has noted here, and he's waiting to see if people find it, if it is the route that people do end up taking. It's not so much a route change as it is a specific trick at a specific point of the map, perhaps with a specific surface change. I think I've already given it away, but we will see as times improve, as players figure things out and start to optimize if it is found out, and I will highlight it if we do get to that point as well. Ice will be over the glass into the reactor, going for this backflip. Again, somewhere where, I don't know if you're really going to be looking for optimization there. Maybe a slight angle will help you out. But from the author time, which I believe is the same as the GPS, it does look like, you know, just hitting that straight on, trying to get as flat an angle as possible into the backflip did look like the way to be going, like the attempt you want to be making. This is going to be a good time from Ice. Looking like it'll be about a 106, 107 potentially. It is going to be a 106.3 there. That's good enough for 4th on the leaderboard with 8 minutes gone. Lots of little jumps, a lot of transitions. Just a map where, again, optimization is going to be absolutely key. Especially on this checkpoint here, as Jaxie has called out in Twitch chat there. It's just a lot of little transitions, a lot of big transitions as well, and just making sure that you land all of those and keeping the speed from one transition to the next, from one platform to the next, is going to matter a lot. On board with Seko. Seeing it there going, Tiger flies off into the distance. Let's see if he pops up near the top of the leaderboard as a result. Will not. Not an improvement on their own time as well. Seko will jump forward. It's a 113, the number 12 local record on that one. Starting to look pretty good. We have Beta obviously up the top with a 103.2, better than anyone else on the server at the moment, and better than the AT. So at least one player with the AT already. A 105.3 for Artis is a little bit outside it. As we're on board now with Marius, currently on a 3-minute run. Definitely doing a little bit of exploring, figuring things out at the moment. And not really going for any local records just yet. That's quick through that section. Maybe too quick for his own good. Exiting that turn. Didn't quite turn in time. Or maybe he's just still on discovery, figuring out exactly where he wants to go. So we'll stay on board with Marius and see how this next run does end up looking as well. 331, it's or 334, whatever that was. It's not going to be setting the world alight. It's not going to be climbing to the top of the leaderboard. Artis, though, is climbing to the top of the leaderboard with a 103.364. Is looking pretty good. I want to watch this GPS one more time. Look, it's my car. It has an Irish flag on it. Gorgeous. When I said Irish flag, maybe I meant Shamrock, but you know what? They're not really the same thing, but they're close enough. So this section checkpoint 2, it's quite low and to the right there. The Kiraj jumps on out, and it's an easy setup then for the follow-up jump as well. So definitely something to keep in mind as we watch players improve on that section. Jaxie, we're catching up you with this alter time at the moment. The wall bang in the middle of the track. Definitely an interesting one. Up and out onto the glass. And this is the section that Kiraj does mention as on the drop down from the glass onto more glass, potentially a slight bug slide, a little bit of trying to accelerate around that corner by keeping the car as sideways as possible on the glass exit. It's a small trick, but if you're trying to optimize, is one that we might see players pick up at the top. Definitely something to keep an eye on for sure. And this is it, the author time hitting that 105 mark. Is the author time the same as the GPS? I don't know, but I'm going to assume that maybe. It might be. Back in Spectator, and decide to sit us on Warl. So why don't we watch Warl as they try to make their way through the track. You can see even compared to the GPS, they're a little bit further to the left, and a slightly less smooth transition onto that kind of slanted block to the left as well as a result. But still quick, still smooth, still keeping it clean through this middle section of the track. As, well, never mind, all that goes out the window and a reset comes through. Warl going to reset that run, and now just looking for speed. You jumped over the finish. Is an interesting point. So you can over jump the finish. Something definitely to keep an eye on there as well. It's not a section that looks particularly difficult, not to sound rude, but anytime there are reactors involved, it is going to start to get a little bit spicy, and not a skill that many players, maybe RPG players more than most, do practice, is controlling the car under reactor in midair. We're all catching up to Yogg now on this run, overtaking in the middle of the track. This wall bang on the left that you see in the GPS, not something that many players seem to be going for at the moment. It's interesting. We are on board with Warl, and I'm not sure how quick this time is going to be. He currently holds the 7th best time on the leaderboard, but not going for that wall bang. Maybe it's too risky. Maybe players are just deciding, actually, it's not quick, even if we're seeing it on the GPS. That's going to catch the wheel. That's going to fly on out, and Warl resets again. How is everyone else doing? Let's jump on board. Manjmualabole. A mini RPG of the week veteran. Catching a wheel on the inside right as we jump on board. Not exactly what you want to see. Times are getting faster up to the top. Artiste now down into the 102s. Beta Toast has improved up to a 103.1. And there was someone else on 103.4. They're gone. Lap time deleted for track limit violation? Question mark. What are the umpiring officials? They're not called umpires in F1. You know what I mean. The race director, but the people who work under him. Race officials. God, I should know this. I should be able to remember this. I can't though, and so it'll just have to haunt me and annoy everyone else. Getting a decent few players into the server now. Still 7 minutes left. The benefit of that 20-minute warm-up, of course, does mean that there's a little bit more time for players to jump in and feel like they have a little bit of time left to learn the map, to warm up, maybe give themselves a fighting chance to survive those first 2 tracks. First 2 tracks? The first few rounds. What if it is a different track every time that we spawn in, you know? What if? Deep metaphysical questions to be had. Not really, but pseudo-intellectual is about the best I can manage. Manjmualabole did half-heartedly commit to the wall bang there. Chose to kind of go for it, but not really sending the car into it results in more of just a bit of a wall scrape. And that will remove the paint from the side of your car and not much else. Doesn't really help you get around the following turn. So again, definitely something to keep an eye on. I think we're going to see a few cars in that hole where we just see G-Geek over the course of some of these following rounds. At least the first few. This is that one, it always catches me. It feels like it's going to be close, and it's like, oh no, that is just road, even if it is invisible. They are A-okay. Twiggy is out on track. Oh boy, it's time to get flamey. We are not talking about ex-MROTW members, current MROTW. Look, again, seen knowledge, something that my brain does not retain. Where is Twiggy? Can I find him? Hello? Oh, he's spotted, caught in 4K, just in time for a crash. Incredible. Caster Curse, and I didn't even need to say anything. See what he's trying to get up to here. A little bit of a disappointing finish last week, maybe. Was getting some decent times in rounds, and then one bad round sent him spiraling out pretty early on. Maybe joined the server. I'm not sure exactly when he did join the server, but is still looking to figure out even these first couple of checkpoints at the moment. And with 5 minutes left, he's not running out of time, but definitely wants to start to get these down sooner rather than later. Oh, will catch. I have just noticed that his triponym, is that the word for the 3 letters on the back of the car? Whatever you want to call it, it is uwu. I hate it. That's not true. I love it. It entertains me. Uwu humor. It's great. It's just fun. It's just good, clean fun for all the family. He is going for the wall bang. It's risky, and I mean, it may be the fastest way through, but it is risky. There's definitely, you know, just the ability to slow down there, take that turn a little bit slower. You're not getting hard speed checked afterwards. You don't need to go for it as quickly as possible on the way through. So we'll see if players continue to do that through, and how high we get with players doing the wall bang in later rounds then. Definitely does seem familiar with the rest of this track, so has probably had a couple of run-throughs that we missed earlier on. We'll see where this one does end up finishing. There's been a few mistakes on the way through, but it will still be a time that'll probably keep you safe. If we're being honest, I would reckon a 130, 140, maybe even a 150 Twiggy, no. A 120, 130, 140 probably going to keep you safe in at least the first 5-6 rounds or so. But still, not for very long, and you want to cut those out sooner rather than later. After her is going to have to do a little bit of readjusting in the middle there. Twiggy will end up finishing with the number 40 local record of 134. Yep, the trigram. I was close. Pretty close. 4 minutes for BMX to join and learn the map. Doable. It'll only take you about a minute to watch the GPS, another minute of sitting in silence to internalize it, and then you can get one more run in a minute, and then you've just got a minute spare. That's how people learn tracks, right? That makes sense. Visualize it in your head. And again for the wall bang. Hey, it'll pay off if it does turn out to be fast and you just start doing it from the start, so I'm interested to see it. Let's jump on board, see how Geek is getting on the track at the moment. Club tag that reminds me of the Wumbo W in black, but that's just 3 rightward slashes. He's not going to make it over there. Falls through gaps in the map we didn't even know existed. On board for another run, 2.5 minutes left. Quick check-in with the times to the top. Ice has set a 101.8, joining him down in the 101s. Beta Toast as well. Warl, Artis both sitting with 102s, but a low 102 for Warl and a high 102 for Artis. Marius has massively improved down to a 103.985. This is a track I could see Marius doing very well on indeed. No risky route versus safe route shenanigans going on. Nothing where he really needs to push very, very hard. And I think safe driving could get him deep in the competition tonight. But equally, without anything too wild going on, I could see him getting caught out in some round near the top where you just have other players who are driving a little bit quicker. Definitely going to be interesting to keep an eye on Marius this evening. This is up in top 14. It's been a while since we've had a top 10 finish from you, Black Pulse. So, you know, good luck tonight or whatever. If you are actually playing. Also, double pulling admin duties as well. Always going to make things a little bit harder. Very solid players, though, lined up here. Fewer of the very big names. I don't think we have Yannick. We don't have Otak joining, as he did in one of the previous weeks here, only a couple of weeks ago. But definitely a lot of Mini RPG of the Week veterans here tonight. Players who know how to learn a track like this, know how to push it to its limits, and will be driving as quickly as they possibly can. Should be fun. Should be very fun. Should be some very good competition. I'm already genuinely looking forward to what the final rounds on this map look like. As Geek will show, there is definitely that outside line. The GPS takes an inside line through that kind of tunnel to the right of the poles in the center with the wall bang at the end to line up for the following turn. Geek was going for a little bit of a wider line there, going around the outside and then trying to just line up for the following turn. It does still require you to slow down quite a lot at the end to make sure that you make it. Black Pulse won't be playing tonight because he's adminning. Not a cheater. You love to see it. A little bit of drama earlier in the day. I believe today's Cup of the Day mapper was also driving in the Cup of the Day. Deeds. Absolute scandal. Babs passes Keenus on track. Irish flags wave to each other in the night and chases down Tiger up in front as well. And we'll see how far the Irish can get in this one. Ooh. Well, that doesn't give me hope. Right at the end of warm-up, we will head into our first round. No elimination, just a practice. 45 players in the server for this one. And we'll see how things do wind up going. Predictions for how things will go in round 1 here. We only have 45 players, so it will only be 4 eliminations in the first round, guaranteed. And I'll say it, I think we're probably getting 5. And that's because 5 people just crash in DNF. It feels like a map that the players should be able to finish at this point. CP2 will be your death. I think based on this warm-up round, CP2 is going to be the death of a lot of people. It is not looking particularly promising for Babs, who we are riding on board with at the moment. And he's up in 28th, and I can't really jump further back down all that easily because, well, there is at least 4 DNFs at the moment, so we're stuck with Babs. And I'm sorry, Babs, because it means we're getting to watch you fail an awful lot. Practicing the wall bang. It's deliberate, though. You gotta know. This is just getting the practice in for the actual rounds that matter. Now is the time to do it. It makes a lot of sense. Getting that practice in. You only got 2 runs in because you joined with 8 minutes left. Twiggy, you know what? It looked pretty solid. You have a 130, and I said it, I think a 130 is going to be pretty good. 130 is going to be good enough to survive at least the first few rounds. You'll be A-okay out there, brother, you know? Just leave it all on the track. Head empty, just drive. I know the head empty part not a problem for you, so you should be good to go. That felt unnecessarily mean, and I would like to apologize for my words and my deeds. Babs with a not particularly inspiring time of 1:34 to finish things off there, but look, that's 26th. Twiggy, you'll be fine. The ghost of Nua is with you all, that is true. I bless you with my spirit. Go forth, my sons and daughters, and prosper in this blessed land. 8 people eliminated, Jaxie guesses. I'm saying 5. I think we're going to get most of these cars across the line. Winners get a shout out on Discord. They also, you know, I mean, they get a top 10. It's on the Liquipedia. At some point. I know we're a few weeks behind at the moment, but the Liquipedia editors are busy people, and I have not helped at all in editing that page for months, so I'm not going to complain about it. Let's see how things go here. First round with eliminations, and already here on, even before checkpoint 2, on checkpoint 1 at the end of it, we are seeing a lot of crashes. Black Pulse has entered the first round, and good guy admin is providing an extra safe spot by starting the round, but just DNFing on the start line. We are going to see at least 4 eliminations because, yeah, there's at least 5 people who are just not starting the round. Which, you know, fair enough. It does mean that as long as you get to the line, you are going to be safe on this round. Unfortunately for you, Jaxie, that is you at the moment, sitting at the back, looking to make your way forward. But again, as long as you make it there, you are going to be okay. Wait, M Gorillas is moving. Will they make it to the finish line? They have given themselves a 30-second handicap. It might be okay still. InGen official is still a long way back. Gara has been overtaken. Jaxie at the back as well is going to find a pole there for Gara. And we are heading towards the middle of the track. 3-point turn from M Gorilla is practicing for a driving test in the middle of a Trackmania race. You love to see it. Into the wall goes Gara, and again, this is a pretty tight battle, honestly, for the last 2 places, but even if they make it to the finish line, they should be safe. Now, they do only have 30 seconds left. We are just over halfway through the track, a little bit more than halfway. M Gorillas, that's a big crash. BC Nathan OU appears to have DNF'd as well. I don't think you have the speed for this, Gorillas. You're gonna have to respawn. You gotta go through this double booster. 18 seconds, it's going to be close, I'll be honest. Oh no! That's it. It's done. It's a disaster. It's just, there's not enough time left. 07's in chat for M Gorillas with a 30-second handicap at the start, sitting still, clearly not having driven the track up until this moment. It'll be 6 players eliminated, among them Black Pulse. Twiggy was correct. It's a huge moment. Well, I guess we'll just have to hope Twiggy gets eliminated in the next round to prevent smugness or whatever. That's not true. Twiggy, I believe in the top 10 finish. Tonight, this is your night. This is your map, okay? The 8-minute warm-up, that's going to provide you with power. G-Geek and Tiger are down in the bottom 4 to kick things off. G-Geek climbs out quickly. Tiger will be given a leg up by multiple cars around, falling off the map. There was another car falling off just in front as well. And another, I believe that was an Estonian flag flying into the distance on that one. Undire? Undie? Who knows? Right now they're in well, not any more danger. Mr. Safi back here. That is that the Estonian flag? Someone will tell me. Someone will tell me that I'm wrong if I'm wrong. And well, until then, Mr. Safi is going to have to try and climb out of this danger zone so that we can go and focus on someone else as well. And if I am wrong, no one will have to hear me say it anymore. Urshmi Veloce currently in 37th and attempting to catch back up again. You're kind of running out of places for people to fail at the moment as well. This backflip was a pain point in round 1, but here in round 2, looking to be a little bit safer. Yorsh has climbed up into 36 though. Undie has dropped back down to 38. Mr. Safi is still in 37th. LP is a long way back. That is near the start of the track, and BC Nathan has respawned, or has DNF'd entirely. This is a tight race to the end. Couple of cars stopped on track. Yorsh with a lot of speed, maybe too much speed through that section. Shoxy back in the lead, but is sideways. Yorsh will win the race to this line. They should both be safe though. As long as they get to that line, they will be. It's Mr. Safi to be eliminated in 37th place. BMX has joined just in time to make it through the first couple of rounds and realize that they are hungry. BMX, You know what? It's unfortunate. Twiggy is playing WROTW. Williams Resolve of the week? That's a team. That's a... Yeah, I don't know. Those letters aren't near each other on the keyboard. You've just inverted the M in your mind, Twiggy. And your hands have gone to the inverted M. That's honestly, you know, that speaks to a pretty impressive level of typing literacy. So congratulations on that typo. It's an impressive one. Here we are with BMX, who is fine. He's well up the leaderboard. He'll be okay. We're on board with Keenus, who we have to get worried about. And this is bottom four filled with names I recognize. Keenus, Flo, Twiggy, Yogg all down here. Edis as well. A lot of mini RPG of the week players and Irish players and British players down as well. But it is a mess on checkpoint 2. Jaxie was absolutely right that this is a checkpoint that is going to catch players potentially repeatedly, as Lingo is here with a couple of respawns now, and this would be an early elimination for Lingo, currently sitting on the 9th best time on the leaderboard. Yorsh will fall off the track in front. Twiggy has made it through checkpoint 2 and is a long way up the road. Lingo about 6 seconds away from potential safety at the moment, hoping for a couple of respawns in front. This beam as well has caught players in the past, as has these set of transitions, but right now things not looking great for Lingo. There's at least one respawn up in front at the moment. Has there been more? No. Lots of players safe at the moment, and Lingo still a little ways down the road. Wolfie just in front. Twiggy just in front there as well. Really only the finish left to go at this point. Another wall bang from Lingo. Slightly less intentional that time around. There's another 2 respawns. It looks like at the very least, as Lingo will climb up the leaderboard for now, looking to catch up with Wolfie. They should both be safe. And who is the players in the elimination then? It's Wolfie who is eliminated. Bingo was eliminated as well. I thought they were safe, but it was only one respawn. It was Pun Pun, the respawn. Yorsh will be a long way down the track as well, but that's a very early elimination from Lingo. Whew. Going to be gone in only round 4 of 18 this time around. 4 players eliminated. Twiggy was safe by a couple of rounds, and you gotta remember, Twiggy joined late. The more rounds that they get given here, the more likely it is that they will actually learn the map. And by God, then everyone else is in trouble. Or they'll do what they did last week and have a horrible round anyway and go out early on. Who knows? Hopefully us in a few rounds' time. We'll figure it out as we go. Again, checkpoint 1 and 2 here, they're causing problems. That turn into checkpoint 1 is an issue for a lot of players. And you can see still a couple of respawns coming through, and then having low speed into checkpoint 2 compounds those issues. Monj Molabole is getting through, not particularly cleanly, but safely for the moment. The respawn just in front from Zosasis. Or something, is going to put them just about in front. Mokura has caught back up, and these 3 cars currently catching up with Warl, the player with the 4th best time on the server. Not safe here on round 5. Monch Molabole still just behind these 2 cars in front. Shoxy with a little bit of a respawn, it looked like, in front, or at least just a slow turn into this reactor boost. Jaxie slow in front as well. Shoxy with an overtake, and this is going to be a tight race towards the finish line. Monch Molabole is going to overtake Shoxy here, surely. There goes Seko though as well, and that means potentially Monch Molabole is still in the danger zone. Yes, they are, and it's going to be a slow turn through. Here comes G-Geek from behind, but a fall out of the map means that G-Geek surely likely to be eliminated. Monch Molabole, it's not clean, but it should be safe, so we'll jump back to Edis, who is going to be trying to get to the line. G-Geek is falling down the leaderboard and is going to be eliminated. Shoxy as well. Edis gone, and Zosasis is gone too. That was a tight race to the line. There were only 4 tenths between safety and Shoxy, and only a few more seconds behind from there. A lot of cars could have made it through there. Hey Kiraj, welcome to the stream. The map looks beautiful. It is absolutely sick. Players don't like checkpoint 2, but I think you knew that was coming. And it's definitely proving to be a little bit of an issue for some of them as well, and it has provided absolute chaos. That turn in towards checkpoint 1 as well has resulted in low speed and difficult checkpoint 2s for some of these players, and it does mean a big shake-up right at the start of the map. You're absolutely right, Kiraj. It is simply a skill issue. The players should get better. And you know what? Some of them are. Twiggy rapidly learning the map after a slow start, only arriving with 8 minutes to go, and is now looking pretty safe. And we can see 2 Irish players plus Ice having a rough time of it here. Jaxie having a little bit of a rough time as well. Keenan, so you gotta go slower, brother, if you want to make it around this beam. Warl has been having a tough time these last couple of rounds too, despite having the 4th best time still on the server. A 102.278 is not enough to mean that you can guarantee a safe checkpoint 1 and 2. There's a respawn from Subway. Yogg catching back up though. And looking to regain. That may provide them with the safety they need. Warl is still a long way down the road. And he's going to be catching up Keenus alongside them too. And you can see how far behind they are when you jump forward towards where Yogg and the squad are. Well, Yogg has climbed all the way up into 23rd. Dobry now at risk down in 25th and hoping for a mistake up in front. And we are running out of places on this track where that is likely to happen towards the end. There are not many cars nearby at all. This section of the track is going to provide some very close racing later on, but at the moment it is providing, well, safety if you want to take it slowly, if you have a gap behind you in order to get to that finish line. And this will be a finish for Dobry, 5 seconds behind that pack in front. A 25th place finish. Keenus eliminated, Warl eliminated as well. A 4th best time, not good enough to saves. They'll be a long way down. And Jaxie going out in 28th place. Go on, Jaxie, gives the backflip. Little bit of stunting. Ooh, trying to cut the map. Kind of. I mean, maybe there is a better angle through there? Question mark? Maybe? Just attempting to discover it at the end. And we'll see now as we head towards our top 20. Again, I think, you know, these final sections of the track, right now, they can be taken safely. And we've not seen many overtakes, but I think especially in our final rounds, as long as the cars are reasonably close, those final sections and the level of risk players take on them are really going to make a difference and are potentially going to be deciders on literally that final hairpin. Don't worry, Keenus. We all saw the trouble. I'm sorry, brother. We were we were focused on it. It was a little bit unfortunate, for sure. You can see there already Checkpoint 2 has split this pack up. Liftguard is having some internet issues, but the stuttering will not matter as they will make it through cleanly on another time of asking. Dargan, a little ways down the road now. This looks like it should make it through, but it is a long way back from anyone who is at risk. Monjmalbole moving slowly in the middle of the track and forced to slow down even more. Falls behind Babs and Makara a lot. Babs slow onto this pipe and having to go very wide then to get the speed for this jump. We'll be trying to catch back up to those cars in front. Makara just behind Afir and is going to be moving a little bit slowly. It was a poorer turn than the car in front. Oh, that's Yogg going slowly a little bit, taking the long way around that jump, but still in the lead. Is going to be safe for the time being. This is potentially a very tight race down to the finish. No mistakes can be afforded to the cars in front. And that has started to include wheel clips. That's so quick from Makara. The overtake onto Yogg, who's now moving a little bit slower again after slow through the turn. It's going to be close to the finish line. Yogg is so low, and I'm not sure it's enough. It is. There were multiple mistakes further behind. Liftcart is not safe in 21st. Babs got across the line in 20th, and the finish line there providing a little bit more chaos than in plenty of our previous rounds. Whew. Yeah, Dobry already out. Oh, that's unfortunate for you, man. That's you said Bluetooth issues, and there's nothing worse than a controller issue or an internet issue costing you a round, sending you out of the competition. These things happen though, and you know, you're not a true gamer until you've experienced deep frustration at some part of your setup. Well, here we are, into our top 20 now. Final round of 4 eliminations. Twiggy is still alive in the competition, let's note. Marius, the player I said at the top. I figure this is a map that looks like it may be right in his wheelhouse, as having a little bit of patience, as Kirash has just noted in Twitch chat, really can pay off for you as well. And that's definitely something Marius is capable of, the Safe Meister himself, and asking him to just play it a little bit safer on some of these turns, not get frustrated and risk, as you're going to see some players do in general, is going to be very good for him. 2 eliminations already in this round, as we've 2 DNFs. Seko and Yogg have both decided that Checkpoint 2 was not going well for them and to give up as a result. Afir is behind Goliath, who's a little bit slow. We'll have to see. Was that an Irish flag I saw falling off the map? Babs, did you fall off the map somewhere behind me here? Babs? No, he's fine. He's somewhere up the road, I think. I hope. Maybe. Yeah, there he went off into the distance. Goliath has climbed up into a safe position. Afrier is just behind. And was there a respawn there as well? Is Goliath safely across the line? Yes, he is. Twiggy is gone in 17th place on a final checkpoint respawn. Unfortunate, but then are the breaks sometimes. It happens. Into 2 eliminations around. Dobry reckons Artis is going to win this one. Ice currently has the best time on the server and looks to have been setting some good times all around as well in these rounds. Looking pretty comfortable. Viscoli with a little bit of a clip early on here. BMX is safely through. Azuris is safely through. Swiss is the player at the back at the moment. And all the players safely into checkpoint 2. All the players safely checkpoint through. It did not look like Afrier is going to fall off. Flo with a respawn as well. Marius with a full respawn on checkpoint 2, and I am about to have to eat my words very early. It seems like saying that this was a map where Marius, with a bit of patience, would do very well. He's a long way back. Atalanta, though, is just respawned, and so Marius is up safely. Flo is behind as well. Marius may be safely through this round yet. After is forwards, is caught back up too. Flo, the player at risk, and it'll be Flo and I believe Atalanta at the back then. No, Atalanta's up the road. It's just Flo at the back. It's after you're trying to catch Atalanta. Again, running out of places on this map where you expect mistakes to be made. There's only so much you can risk. Again, when you're close together, there's a lot more room to risk here, but not a huge amount when you're this far behind. No massive time saves. That was a respawn. That was a car moving slowly. This is Afir through. Who was it? It wasn't. It was just Flo arriving. They were very close in their finish at the end. I thought that was someone else having to reappear from very close behind, but not quite. Afir and Flo will be eliminated. Put the lights there, Twiggy. I've only just seen your message, and you'll want to be careful because it... I'll say it. I'm pretty sure it was the mapper, and I'm pretty sure they're in chat right now. So, you know, let's not go slinging any rude accusations around about map design. But you were just so excited about the map, the lights, right? That was why you were you just couldn't contain yourself. Goliath is going to be once again in the elimination zone. He's escaped it the last couple of rounds, but you know, you kind of question, is the luck going to run out at some point? I mean, it's not luck to continue to get through, but at some point just pace needs to be there as well. And early mistakes are going to cause more of an issue. At the moment it's safe, but it's alongside Skies, and our Tiger is behind both of these cars. There is going to be a tight battle at the moment for the last remaining safe spot as we head rapidly towards our top 10. Goliath with a long jump to the left is going to have to readjust on this one and lose a couple more tenths to the cars in front. Twiggy, you can't say that. It's toxic. Goliath is going to be catching back up. Tiger will come flying through, though. Babs has DNF'd somewhere up the road, and that means that this is the battle for the final safe space at the moment, and I think Tiger has lost it, unfortunately. Goliath to the line, 12th place, and it's both of the Irish cars eliminated in a single round. A bloodbath, and we can't even blame it on the English. It was the French this time around. Babs and Tiger will be gone, and it's, well, without really a sniff of the top 10 as well. This is it, the round that decides our top 10. Liquipedia page on the line. BMX having joined very late, still in the competition. Still, one would assume, a very, very hungry man at the moment. And unfortunately, suffering from success at the moment as they continue to look very, very safe indeed. Goliath, still towards the back, but still just about in the safe zones. Artis is at risk at the moment and is, in fact, in last place going through checkpoint 2. Is alongside Azuris, but between them they are 6 seconds adrift from safety, from finding a safe harbor on this round, and they are really relying on Goliath to make the mistake up front at the moment now. So let's jump on board with Goliath. Let's assume that Artis is capable of driving the rest of this map without mistake, without error at the moment, given that they have the second best time on the server at the moment. You would certainly hope that that is the case, and keep an eye on the splits as well, as Artis is about 5 seconds down and really doesn't seem to be gaining all that much. There's not all that much room to gain at the moment. That's a bit slow from Goliath, but I don't think it's 5 seconds of a difference slow. The gap definitely being closed by Artis. There's just not enough time left. Goliath, you're going very far to the left there, brother. Brother, Brother, what have you done? It's a respawn. It looked savable, but Artis is through. Golly yet will run out in 11th place, will finish, but is gone. Somebody check Artis's PayPal after that. I reckon he's missing at least 20 quid. Safely into the top 10, given miraculous life at the end of that round. Dobry's prediction absolutely saved as well. Maybe Dobry's the one providing PayPals on this occasion, getting Artis into that top 5. Novu with a little bit of a rough start, and Beta Toast as well. Neither player we have seen near our elimination zone at all before this round, and now they are at risk. That dreaded checkpoint 2 has caught them out, and they find themselves 6 to 8 seconds away from the car in 8th. That car is Marius at the moment, but it is a very tight race at the top. There was someone a little bit slower there. I think it was just Swiss Goalie moving behind these other cars. Makara crashed out. Makara crashed out fully and is now behind Beta Toast. Alalada is slow, but not that slow, is further up the road. So it's Makara who will be in 9th place. At the moment, it was a low jump off the backflip, and it's Beta Toast now who is in this remaining safe spot, cleanly through this first section, cleanly around this hairpin, you would assume. And you'd have to imagine no weird respawn on this final jump. A second round in a row. Beta Toast safe. Mocker off the backflip will lose out, and in fact will, insult to injury, get 10th as No snipes out 9th. Only with a PB in that round as well. Love to see it. We'll head towards our top 8. Final round of 2 eliminations now as well. And a tough one. Lots of very strong players left at this point. Lots of mini RPG of the week regulars, and lots of players with very strong times remaining too. Ice, Artis, and Beta Toast still alive in this round. The top 3 times on the server at the moment. BMX still managing to maintain a top 8 position, but it is Atalanta, and it was Ice who've made those mistakes, and Ice with another one is going to lose even more time to the front of the pack. Swiss Goalie, the player at the moment, who is most at risk of elimination, but that is definitely a relative term. All these players close together. A slow turn from Swiss Goalie, but again, not a mistake that's going to lose you 2 seconds by itself. That would have to come on one of these final couple of transitions. It's a low jump, but is okay. A-okay, it was totally safe, is fine. Up the invisible road we go. My favorite Wizard of Oz song, and the Swiss Goalie will be keeping clean. Everyone keeping clean around these final couple of turns. It looks like nobody managing. Swiss Goalie's low, but it's not that low. It's completely safe. It's a 6th place finish, and Ice will get eliminated. Did close the gap, it has to be said, down to less than a second at the end, but a big elimination on that round. Ice in 7th place, the fastest player on the server, gone. Means that Artis still there. Top 5 now very much in the cards. One more round to survive, and then Artis gets that top 5, and well on their way to a win in this round, in this competition. Up against them though, Beta Toast still with a top 3 time, Marius with a top 5 time, Skyzenard, who we have not really had to say anything about so far tonight, has been very, very quiet indeed, holding on to these times. Now Swiss Goalie with a full crash on checkpoint 2. That means, well, it's eyes on the rest of the field to see if there's a big mistake coming through. BMX will continue to suffer from success. Barring maybe a little bit of PayPal, barring a little bit. We are still seeing different lines through that section, something we noted early on. The GPS goes for the wall bang. BMX goes for the outside line around the poles. A little bit slow from BMX, but with the gap being at 6 seconds, you should be okay. Artis has slowed down as well. A crash somewhere in front has dropped them down into 5th place, but it's only 5th place, and Swiss Goalie is, unfortunately for them, 6 to 7 seconds behind even Artis at the moment. MX had looked a little bit funky, but it's worked on out. Artis through, Artis up. Good transition. And across one more time to the finish line. Beta Toast with a 1:03 up at the top. Strong times. Those are strong round-winning times. Those 1:03s at the moment will be a top 5 locked in, and it will not include the Swiss. F's in chat for the nation of Switzerland as we move into our top 5. And I think, yeah, Artis definitely looking strong. to win tonight's competition. The elimination of Ice in a previous round, helping them out a little bit on that one in terms of pure pace now. Betatos, really one of the remaining players who can challenge there, but of course Marius as well definitely has that ability. It's Artis cleaning through. That was Betatos making a little bit of a mistake. Slow speed then into the next jump, still making it through. All 5 of our players through checkpoint 2 safely. In quotation marks, Betatos is definitely a little bit slower than everyone else, but is not so far behind. A little bit of aggressive driving could not close that gap. Through the inside poles there, and it's quicker. BMX's outside line, it's not working out. It is definitely not the quickest way through that section without the wall bang. Betatos is right back in it. BMX overtaken. And that is one of the first kind of crucial overtakes that we've seen on pure pace on this track so far. All the time, that checkpoint 2 has really just pushed players back. BMX is coming back with a little bit more speed than Betatos. It'll come down to this turn, and probably this turn alone. Wall touch from BMX, slower than Betatos into this one. A little bit of a chance to still catch up. Not quite. BMX, the player to be eliminated in this round. A cruise into the finish line. A great time from Skies and improving the number 7 local record. And BMX eliminated in 5th place. BMX in 5th place, top 4 locked in, looking for a podium then in this round. Artis, Betatos, Marius and Skies and Art. Again, Skies and Art, not a player that I really had eyes on in the middle of this competition. Quietly was just having a wonderful time. And, you know, hasn't one of the top 5 times. Is now with the 7th best time on the server. But in theory, not as quick as the other 3 players. But speed doesn't matter. Consistency does, particularly consistency. On checkpoints 1 and 2, they set you up for the rest of this map completely. And at the moment, it's Marius who's made that little bit of a mistake. He's going to have to be very un-Marius and get aggressive over the rest of this track to try and close this gap. And at the moment, that gap may not be closing. In fact, it looks to potentially even be extending a little bit here. Unless Skies just fully crashed, as has happened. Which is a little bit unfortunate. It means that now you're looking for the safe Meister to play it risky and not realize he is up into 3rd and to crash on this final checkpoint. I'll say it, it's unlikely that Marius makes a mistake from this position, and indeed he will not. Safely through to the finish line. It's a top 3 of Artis, Betatos and Marius. Skies and Art got close, but is a second behind, and it is going to be a 4th place finish for them tonight. What a top 3 we have then. The 2nd, 3rd and 5th best times on the server face off for a position in our final round. Artis, Betatos and Marius. And keep in mind, you feel like the action is coming down to checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 2 in a lot of ways. But if they make it through cleanly, it's a lot of good driving from there until the finish line. Marius a little bit behind. That was Betatos with the mistake though. Marius will crash as well though, so they'll be very close together. And all of a sudden the race is back on. Betatos versus Marius. German on German violence in our 2nd to last round. Artis can just keep it clean up at the front. Marius a little bit behind. We did see, wasn't really getting aggressive. Didn't look all that quick in the last round. I mean, obviously looked very quick and is very quick on this map. But in terms of actually gaining time on the car in front when he was behind, it came down to a mistake rather than a crash. A mistake rather than fast driving. This is Marius still, though, a little bit behind. About a second behind, and that gap has closed by about a 10th, but that is still only a 10th of the gap that he needs to close. A second remains between him and Betatos. Betatos holds on to this lead around the final couple of turns. No mistakes to be had. Marius closes a little bit further. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Marius with a lower jump than Betatos. Betatos to the line, though, safely, and Marius did a good job. Closed the gap to 6/10, but it's Artis and Betatos in our final round. And I am hoping for good, clean racing here. I want to see what this map has promised, which is tight finishes, which is tough transitions over the rest of it. And if it is not broken up in checkpoint 1 and 2, then definitely that's what we're getting. Or we see both of them crash on checkpoint 2, as was the case in the previous round. Either way, I'd be okay with it. Artis and Betatos safely through and into checkpoint 2 at the very least. Both of them will look to make that transition. Betatos looked like he clipped a little bit, but not enough to slow him down cleanly into the rest of the track. And now this race is unlocked. Half a second between them. It's Artis with a little bit riskier onto that line, a little bit closer on the inside. Goes around the last pole, and that means Betatos holds on to his lead for the time being, but Artis has edged a little bit closer. Beta Toast carried more speed out and onto the glass. It's Artis who's looking to go down and into the reactor, and Beta Toast has extended the lead up to 4/10 over the glass. Artis will land on the nose a little bit quicker, and that gap should shrink, but only ever so slightly. Artis, lower jump, gaining again, more speed. Beta Toast slow through the middle section. Artis with more speed. It's the final turn, and it'll matter a lot. Beta Toast and Artis looking for the transition. Beta Toast on the inside, Artis on the outside. Dead heat to the finish line, but it's Artis who has come out on top. There was less than a tenth into the final checkpoint, and it ends with 2/10 between them. Artis, the second fastest time on the server, sets the fastest time in the final round. And it is Artis who wins edition 13 of season 13. Season 3 of Mini RPG of the Week. By God, if we get to season 13, we'll have been doing well. What a match, what a map. Spectacularly beautiful, provided the racing that I was hoping for right at the end there, provided some crashes, some big moments in general as well, and all around, I had a great time. I hope everyone else had a great time as well. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined tonight. From me, returning from the land of the dead, outwitting Hades and managing to escape. It's been a pleasure to be back. I look forward to seeing you many more weeks in the future. But as always, remember that if you want to build a map for Mini RPG of the Week, please do. We need more all the time. Z8 will help you finish your map as well. He's excellent at doing that, and that means even if maybe you're not all that confident that Mini RPG is a style that you can map in, or that you haven't really produced a map for competitive before, just get in touch. Z8 will help you through that process, and we'd love to see your efforts. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you again in the future. This has been another edition of Mini RPG of the Week, and I'm gonna leave. Goodbye. This is petered out, and just see ya.